Well, I appreciate everybody coming out this morning. A very exciting morning. Mr. Terry Bunnell, president of the Glasgow Barron County Community Foundation, has some very exciting news to share with you all.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Keith, thank you, and thank you for hosting us today for the press conference. We're excited to be here. Keith Hale, superintendent of Glasgow Schools. I want to say a welcome to Amy Allen, the principal of Glasgow High School. Lori Seabold. Lori's been a huge part of what we're going to announce today, so we appreciate her work as the senior counselor at Glasgow High School. Members of the Glasgow Barron County Community Foundation. We have Steve Newberry, who is our vice president. Amy Pike is our secretary. Davy Greer is our treasurer. Brett Lowe, who is the president of the Chamber of Commerce, he serves on our board as well. And then Ernie Myers is the executive director of the foundation. I want to say welcome to members of the Glasgow School Board. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Tony Watkins. Tony, raise your hand there. People need to know you. Tony is the Chief Executive Officer of the Community Foundation of West Kentucky. And he's a large part of this announcement today as well. Tony, thanks for coming from Paducah. Board members, I have some board members here for the Chamber of Commerce, so thank you for being here as well. Classmates of Rosemary Kopel Brown, thank you for being here. This is very, very important for our community, and I know y'all are sharing the excitement of this. And I want to say a thank you for everyone else that is here. It is my honor. Today is an exciting day for our community. An exciting day for our community. This is all about good news. Good, positive news. This is based on impact and generosity. So in this announcement today, I want you to think about impact and I want you to think about generosity. This is the impact of two individuals several years ago who had an impact. And this announcement today will have an impact well into the future. What's generosity about? It's about kindness. It's about support. And it's about investing in people. Generosity is the connection that enables a relationship between the donor and the recipient. As the president of the Glasgow Barron County Community Foundation, I'm extremely, and I want to emphasize that, extremely delighted today to announce that the Glasgow Barron County Community Foundation is receiving a $1 million endowment. Thank you. A $1 million endowment from Rosemary Kopel Brown and her husband John. Proceeds from this endowment will be used to fund scholarships to graduating seniors at Glasgow High School. The money's going back into the community. That's the value of the foundation. That money is given to the foundation and that money goes back into our community to help. Let's talk a little bit about Rosemary, a unique person. Rosemary is a 1953 graduate of Glasgow High School. After graduation, Rosemary attended Freed-Hardeman College, where she met her husband John. Now, Rosemary and John, they hold degrees from Auburn University. Also, Rosemary and John were awarded honorary doctorates of science from Auburn University. Rosemary spent 29 years in the classroom as a teacher. She taught math. John is a former CEO and chairman of the board of Stryker Corporation, a leading medical device company. The Browns have two daughters. The Browns are currently living in Atlanta, Georgia. The Browns several years ago established the John and Rosemary Brown Family Foundation, which is primarily focused on donating to educational causes, secondary education, and scholarships. Roughly 2 years ago, the foundation was contacted by Rosemary concerning the naming of scholarships in honor of two of her teachers from Glasgow High School. I'm going to pause in just a minute and let that sink in a little bit. This gift to the foundation is given in honor of two teachers. Now that's a bold statement there. for the value of education and the value of the men and women that are in our school systems, and especially to the two women that I'm going to announce here in just a minute. The two teachers. The teachers were Miss Mary Davis and Miss Lee Smith.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Miss Davis was a language arts teacher with the Glasgow Independent School System, and she was a teacher there for 44 years. Let me read just a little bit about Miss Mary Davis. After graduating from Kentucky Wesleyan College in Winchester, Kentucky, Miss Davis began her career in 1928 at Liberty Street campus of Glasgow High School, where she taught English and sponsored clubs such as the Tri-High Y Club for girls. Miss Davis impacted generations with her love of the English language and devotion to her students. Before school buses were commonplace, and you're going to enjoy this. Again, before school buses were commonplace, Miss Davis, her kindness, resulted in using her personal vehicle to transport GHS football team members to their away games.
I didn't know that.
Miss Davis believed in educating the whole child and was an example for future educators. Miss Smith was a science teacher, and she taught for 48 years in the Glasgow Independent School System. Let me read a little bit about Miss Lee Davis. Miss Lee Smith, excuse me. Miss Smith, she received a teaching degree at Western Kentucky State Normal School and Teachers College in 1929, and a Master of Arts from Indiana University Graduate School in 1934. And during her tenure at Glasgow High School, she sponsored the We Scientists Club and sparked an interest in biology and chemistry in young men and women for decades. Miss Smith is fondly remembered by former students as a warm, caring teacher who enjoyed the light bulb moments of her students. But more importantly, she was determined to mold their students into being thoughtful, industrious community members. In 2018, two graduating seniors were recognized as the first recipients of scholarships given by Rosemary in honor of the two former teachers that I mentioned. Those scholarships on an annual basis are $5,000. However, they're renewable, up to a total of $20,000. In 2018, we had 12 applicants for those two scholarships. The application process involved an interview, letters of reference, a GPA requirement of 3.5, and an essay. In our audience today is Presley Parker. Presley, glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Presley is one of the recipients of the 2018 scholarship. Presley currently is a student at Western Kentucky University, majoring in elementary education. In 2019, Rosemary made the same commitment to further the education of two additional seniors from GHS. This year, 2019, we had 19 applicants. I want to pause right now and say a big thank you to Lori Sebo, who helps that process, Amy Pike of the Foundation, and myself interview the students, and to Amy Allen and to the superintendent, Keith Hale. Those students believe in Glasgow High School. If you could have sat in on the interviews that Amy and I was privileged to sit in on, they were remarkable interviews. The passion that those students had for the education that they gained in Glasgow High School and through their year, all their entire experience. But they spoke very fondly of the teachers and the staff that made the difference for them. So hats off to all those in the educational process with the Glasgow schools on that. Now, during the past couple of months, the Foundation, with the support of Tony Watkins, as I mentioned earlier, was able to discuss the formation of an endowment to honor the impact of Miss Davis and Miss Smith and to recognize the true philanthropic impact of Rosemary and John for generations to come. The endowment that we're announcing today will allow $40,000 annually to be awarded to graduates of Glasgow High School. $40,000 will come off of this every year. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It will outlive all of us in this room. And that's what's remarkable about this. And this money is impacting today, but it's going to impact into the future, which is tremendous. Now, Rosemary and John are unable to be with us today. However, Rosemary did want me to share these comments. So these are comments from Rosemary. She writes, Terry, if I could be there, this is what I would say. Mary Davis and Lee Smith were teachers who inspired and motivated students. For those of us who said, I can't do that, as memorized in the prologue in Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, or bending a piece of glass tubing, they proved us wrong, because we could do it with their encouragement. The first day in chemistry lab, we learned to plan your work and work your plan. That paid off in many situations of life. In English class, we learned to stand up straighter and be more attentive without even realizing it. I speak for the class of 1953 and for my late sister Rachel, the class of 1943, to say that we, among others, are fortunate to have known these two teachers, and it is a privilege to remember them with these scholarships. Well written. Well written. To Rosemary and John, we say thank you. As a community, we say thank you today, and for the students of the future, we say thank you. This endowment is investing in the lives of young people. This concludes our press conference today. I want to thank everybody for attending and being a part of this great announcement. Again, this is a community announcement. Several here from the class of 1953, you might want to stay around and hear some stories about Rosemary, and I'm sure they would share a few, and that Rosemary would welcome those stories as well. But again, this is a tremendous day for us with the foundation, a tremendous day for Glasgow school system, but a tremendous day for our community in showing what impact and generosity happens. It really does matter. It really does matter. And so this is an example in the gift given today. It is our hope through the foundation that the wishes of Rosemary and John will continue forever. Again, thank you for being here. Keith, you like to say anything? Or?
No, it's just incredible. Appreciate you and the foundation working so hard on this, and I appreciate the kind words that you shared about our school system. We're very proud of our kids. I know Rosemary is as well, and we've got a rich tradition, and it's reflected on this.
Great, thank you for that. Amy, we'd be amiss without asking you.
Well, we just really appreciate everything that you've done for us and making this happen. With this endowment, there's so many layers to it. I think the first one most definitely is the impact that it will have on two of our graduating students. But it also speaks very highly of the relationship piece and the culture that is Glasgow schools and that we are known for. That our teachers just mean so much to our kids, and our kids mean so much to our teachers. So I can't think of a better way to celebrate the rich tradition and the history of Glasgow schools and to honor these two educators. It's definitely a blessing.
Good. Lori, I'm calling you. Lori's been, like I say, a big part of this.
You know, I'm a graduate of Glasgow High School, and just listening to you talk up there, I've been choking back tears. You know, I'm just so proud, but because I feel like I know what Rosemary feels. You know,
Yeah.
I value the teachers that I had, you know, in Glasgow independent schools, and I think our teachers that my students had at Glasgow High School have followed through with that tradition, and I just wish someday I could be as generous as Rosemary and give back to Glasgow what I feel like Glasgow Independent did for me and my children. It's a wonderful day, and I'm just kind of teary about it.
You can do that. Any of the classmates? Yes.
One thing I remember Miss Mary Davis saying, she lived out on North Race, and Miss Lee Smith out Columbia Avenue. But I remember Miss Mary Davis saying, you never chew chewing gum except at a sports event. That's what she did. I remember her saying that. And then we memorized that Thanatopsis let, you know, memorize stuff.
I sure hate to brothers missed it.
What?
Or any comments?
Yeah, I'd like to say that I was with Rosemary from first grade through 12th.
That's
We had a lot of experiences, some that I won't tell about.
Okay.
And I was too.
I'm not surprised
I
at
got
the
some I'm not
generosity.
gonna tell.
I'm not surprised at the generosity.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful person.
Good.
Miss Mary Davis told me one time, and she'd gotten after me for something. She said, Freddie, she said, you can't make a silk purse out of a saddle here. She looked right at me when she said that.
Yeah.
And I've never forgotten it. I've tried and you can't do it. But they both were wonderful. I swore I wasn't gonna say anything, but both of them were wonderful teachers and they were wonderful people. And we were very fortunate, I think, those of us that had her. I wish Ms. Davis hadn't liked all that memorizing. They both were wonderful teachers. Ms. Smith was a wonderful person too, along with Ms. Davis. We were very fortunate for those of us that had her over those many, many years. Very fortunate.
There's one thing
Yes,
I
yes.
remember about Miss Smith. You never cheated in her class. I
Okay.
mean, you just didn't. And she would walk out of the room during the exam, and nobody would cheat because she expected you not to.
It's okay. Frank, anything you want to add?
I loved all of my teachers. I loved them. Loved school. Didn't get to go to college because times were hard. So I graduated on Friday and went to work on Monday in the office at the Southern Continental Telephone Company over there close to George J's.
Terry, I think it's
Yes.
important too to just mention our Board of Education as
Sure.
well, and their commitment to upholding some of the things that you all have mentioned and making sure that they provide us the opportunities to provide our kids with the resources and things that inspire them for greatness. Is the kind of the quote we often use, and Mary's here. I don't know if Mary wants to say a few words.
Well, I, like Lori, was thinking, Miss Miller here. You know, you were so special to me in school, and I don't know that I've ever said that, but we really, you know, the teachers that we have, you know, through the years, the teachers my children have now, you know, I don't know that you know how much I'm not crying too. So, you know, we're proud of our teachers and hope to support them, and this gift is just fantastic.
We're proud of our students too. They do. You know,
Good.
you're the future.
Rest I would ask you if you have a remark you'd like to make. I mean, from your years at Glasgow High School, or when you were one of the first recipients of it, and you have met Rosemary.
Yes, she's an amazing person. I didn't have the privilege of having her, but just being around her, it was very clear to see where all the positive comments were coming from. Glasgow was just, I mean, I agree, I could start crying too. Glasgow did a lot for me. I look back on those years and I wish I would go back in a heartbeat. And having this scholarship throughout my years has really motivated me and allowed me an opportunity to kind of excel in a way that I didn't know that I could. I'm actually going to graduate early, and I actually put a lot of that on the ability to complete more hours than I thought that I could due to some of the financial burden being lifted off of it. And I'm just thankful for the experiences that Glasgow has given me.
Fantastic. Good comment. And I'll ask Tony Watkins if you'll make a comment or two about the foundation and about giving, Tony. I
You
mean,
know, listening to these comments, you know, first of all, what the superintendent said, you know, excellence just doesn't happen by chance. Your vision, your board's vision, your teacher's vision, and turning out the caliber of students that you turn out, that just doesn't happen. I mean, that has to be purposeful to do that, and you've done a very good job of that. And the discussions I've had with Rosemary over the past couple of years, her first phone call she made to me, we had a 30-40 minute conversation about what she wanted to do, and she just wanted to give $10,000 for a couple of scholarships, and it evolved from that into a $1 million gift. And you could tell by the initial conversation that there was an angel on the other end of that phone, basically. And I would think that our discussion, that she would hope that this $1 million gift to Glasgow High School would be a model, like these teachers were models for you all, your students and your other teachers, that this gift would be a model for other people to follow and think about what they could give back to Glasgow High. It may not be $1 million, but it could be something, that you could give back to other scholarships or add some other endeavor to help with the school system. I mean, they could always use money for something, and that family is a very giving family. Terry and I could tell you some of the gifts they've given besides this one to Auburn and to the college down in Tennessee and other things, it would be staggering to you what they do. So that doesn't just happen either. Either you're a giver or you're not, and they're givers. And I would think she would want that to be something that the community would look at and say, well, we can do that too. We can add to that. And so, your vision, whoever set the vision years ago for Glasgow independent school system was a pretty lofty vision to shoot for, and you've done an excellent job of reaching that. So congratulations to you.
Good, good. Mayor Armstrong's here with me. Mayor, anything to say from the city standpoint about the impact of this?
I was prepared in life in general because I had the honor of attending classes under both of these educators. The Glasgow school system is just like the gentleman here says, cut above. It's a tradition that will go on long after we're gone, and these scholarships will help to cultivate our young people, and that's something that's a great gift to the community. And I'd just like to say thank you.